So let's take a look at some candidates for the American League Rookie of the Year. Got Tanner Bybee, who's been excellent for the Guardians. Triston Casas went deep. Gunnar Henderson, for me, if I had a vote, he might be the one. Masataka Yoshida has been excellent. And Esteury Ruiz, I know he doesn't get a lot of pub for the Oakland A's because they're kind of going through it right now, but he's had a very good season as well for the Oakland A's. But you're going to talk, Yonder Alonso, about Triston Casas, a kid that you know very well.
I think after this, your vote might be a little different.
Okay, good.
Okay? Last time I saw this kid, I remember seeing him for the first time. He was a high school kid. And there's times when you're in a batting cage and just the cage sounds different. The ball sounds different. The cage rattles a little bit. And I remember watching this kid in high school and I said, oh my gosh, like my time is coming to an end. My career is coming into an end if this kid is coming up. And then a couple years later, I see him in the Arizona Fall League, and I remember this Triston Casas from South Florida.
Yeah.
And this is kind of what I had to say about him because his swing had matured so much in just a couple months.
You know what, but with Triston, I mean, that's an easy rollover, right? You can roll over on a slider like that. He stayed through that baseball. That's a mature swing right there. He sees it up. Just a good approach right there by Casas.
And the one thing I saw from him early on, Roflo, is his ability to get in hitters counts and just miss baseballs. He was a little bit heavy on the front side. And pause it right here. And I felt like at some point, he had to kind of understand making the right decisions was going to turn out into green lights. And what I mean by that is he's always had a good sense of the plate, of the approach, the strike zone. So he was making the right decisions on what to swing at and what not to swing on. This guy loves to go deep into counts. He's pretty much loves to walk. He doesn't have a problem just being that Kevin Youkilis type of feel. But I felt like he's made some adjustments with his hands.
This stance reminds me of, that stance on the right reminds me of Matt Olson.
It's a Matt Olson type, yes. I will go there on that. I think Matt Olson early on in his career.
Here.
Yeah, there is a change. I felt like Matt Olson early on was more of a slugger than what he is now. Now he's just an all-around good hitter. He swings at the right pitches. He can hit the ball all over the field. And you can play this, but I want you to highlight these hands. The hands is the move that he's made. He's got him a little bit farther back, and I feel for me what that has caused is he was so steep here on the left, whereas now on the right, he's a lot flatter. He's very, very flat, so you can keep playing it, and what I saw too is his backside, the right side of his backside, and you can pause it right here, and what I saw is very simple. When you're here and you can't get back, you can't load back, you get steep. And when you get steep, you either roll over or you miss balls, especially on the outer third.
Yeah.
On the outer third, it becomes a problem because you're not behind the baseball. And you want to be behind the baseball. And I think him tinkering with his hands from here to here allowed him to load and be on his backside and then be as flat as possible. And when you're flat, you can cover that pitch away, you can cover that pitch in, you can cover the pitch up, and you can cover the pitch down. Now, we know his eyes are really good. Right? He can control the strike zone. But what I'm seeing right now, and you can go ahead and play this, is a guy who's been very consistent, especially after the second half. Right now, he's getting these pitches, and he's not missing them. And what I love about it is that he's doing the damage in hitters counts. We survive on hitters counts. Like when we get into hitters counts, which is something that he's in a lot of the times, I feel like he's going to absolutely match, not only this year, this is not a surprise. I think he's going to smash for the next 10, 15 years. And the one thing that I've noticed with him is I go into a rabbit hole with guys, especially young guys. And Roflo, I remember, when I was a rookie, I wasn't concerned about anything in the game of baseball but what I was doing, right? Was I playing good defense? Was I hitting the ball hard? Was I getting to good counts? And you can pause this right here, but I want you to, Jeremy, I want you to show me his post-game interview that he had. It reminded me a little bit of the LeBron James when he can kind of go and give you 10 plays in a row. Listen to what he had to say here after this postgame.
I battled with him my first two at-bats. He was throwing 3 really good pitches in the zone. But even when we were down 3-1, I liked where we were at in the game. We were getting his pitch count up. We were taking him deep into at-bats. Even the inning that Duvall cashed in that 1 run, Rafi had a walk. JT took him 3-2. I struck out. I still took him 3-2. So I liked where we were at, even in the middle of the game. I felt like if we got into their bullpen, it would help us not only this game, but for the rest of the games.
And I'm telling you, his ability to understand the game at an early age like this in his career, you don't see that much. I mean, this is a very bright guy. A guy who's
talking about, even though he struck out, hey, I took him deep.
Yeah, and he's talking about that inning in general, not on how important that inning was, not for this game, but for the remainder of the series.
Yeah.
So I think for me, when I look at this kid, he has become a leader. I love that Alex Cora has kind of taken him under the wing. He's really helped him a lot since day one. But I just think this kid right here, boy, that they needed a big Triston Casas this year, a good defender, a guy that can slug, a guy that can get on base. Listen, out of all the rookies right now, he's leading in average, home runs, RBIs, OPS plus, walks, slugging. This is a guy that's doing it all right now and playing good defense. It reminds me a lot of a young Matt Olson, but even better than when Matt Olson came up.
Dero, you got to be good up the middle and that being good at the corners as well. And they got a good one in Rafi Devers and maybe an emerging one in Triston Casas.
Well, you know how I feel about Billy Ripken, how he's able to kind of, at the amateur level, put his hands on certain guys. He was doing that Under Armour All-American game for years, and he said there was two guys who jumped off the page, Bobby Witt Jr. and Triston Casas. And it took him a minute, right? He's kind of a different personality coming into Boston.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit intimidated at first. He has settled in. He seems to love it there, and the guy flat mashes. But something I saw on social media a couple weeks ago, Yonder, I wanted your take on this because I've never seen anybody do this. Pick up the David sunflower seed bucket and kind of almost, I was a super handsy guy.
Ooh.
I have always been, my hands will bail me out. So to me, this almost promotes, I'm taking my hands out of the equation, trusting my lower half and turn, my core. Have you, Yonder, you ever seen anything like
it
this?
reminds me, and for the viewers at home that play golf, how many times do you get an iron, a 56 or a 58, and you can hit it between 50 yards and 120 yards? A lot of times we get so handsy, we blade them, right? We blade them, we get on top of them, we chunk them. I think what this does, it eliminates hands completely, and it just becomes a sense of awareness of your core, your hips, and your knees. When all three of these things are working together, your hands have to come, right? There is no rolling over. There is no getting on top, right? Like how we chunk it or whatever it is. We just get here and the swing's over, right? Your eyes are working, your hands will go there, and the swing's over. And I think that's a great drill for young kids. But you have to understand, if you're a young kid doing that drill, and what's the purpose of it? See, just because you see it on social media, you say, oh, I'm going to try it. There's a point to this whole drill, right? Because you can get a little around the ball, you can get a little long. There is a method into this madness, and I think it has to do with his core, his hips, and his knees just being all together and connected.
Well, if you want to impress me, he should try that during the game. Take the sunflower seeds bucket into the box, and let's see what you can do with it there.
Oh, man.
Great stuff. By the way, Dero, your arms look huge in this
jacked
here. So
I mean, that's what we're going for.
there we go. Good job. All right,
Clip
still
that off for me.
Well, we'll clip it off.
Jacked.